Garvey said, reached a hand out along the back of the bench seat, slid his fingers in behind her long brown hair, massaged her neck. For a moment her entire body was rigid, seemed to resist his touch. After a few seconds the tension released. She leaned back into the steady kneading from his fingers, let out the slightest moan of pleasure. Having to pacify her trepidations was fast becoming a nuisance. She wasn't made from the same stuff as him, didn't have the same convictions. For the time being, though, that didn't matter. He didn't need her to believe in the cause. He needed her to believe in him. As far as his purposes now required, that was enough. Garvey kept his hand in place and turned his focus back out through the window, stared through the circle already beginning to fog over again. Felt his adrenaline spike as a pair of headlights appeared in the distance. There was no chance they could be seen from where they were parked. The pull-off was too remote, the color of the truck too dark for that. The jolt of electricity through him was rather a result of what the headlights symbolized. 6 times in the preceding weeks, Garvey had staked out the place, even managed to get inside once. He knew there was no set schedule to when the maintenance man came and went, just that he seemed to arrive sometime after 10, depart late in the evening. The important thing was that after he did, nobody else disturbed the house. The woman, the only other staff on site, hadn't been seen in some time. The headlights meant they now had nothing but unimpeded access for 8 solid hours. Pulling his hand away, Garvey watched as the headlights disappeared in the distance, glanced over his shoulder at the supplies piled high in the bed of the truck, at the green cylinder propped up on the seat between them, secured into place with a seatbelt. The most important item of the evening for their purposes. Garvey reached out and turned over the ignition, waited as the engine warmed and the first blast of hot air hit him in over 2 hours. Once the glass was clear, he put the truck into gear and eased forward without turning on the lights. The house was now empty. It was time to move. Chapter 2. 2 voices, one male, one female. They drifted down the darkened hallway of the house, found the ears of Wes Koenig as he sat dozing in the den. The moment the sound hit him, his eyes opened, the rest of him remaining motionless. Not that he would be doing much moving anyway. At 81 years old, his withered body had been confined to a wheelchair for more than 5 years. His form, once strong and thick, had disintegrated away bit by bit. What remained of it was now buried under a pile of quilts, hiding a vertical accordion of exposed ribs, twin sets of parallel matchsticks for appendages, folds of excess skin dappled with liver spots. The combined loss of muscle mass and adipose tissue had dropped his internal temperature by what felt like a dozen degrees. No matter how many blankets he piled on, he could always feel the cold. Like a bitter spouse, it nagged at him day and night, chilled him to the core, sapped his will. The most recent addition to the fight against frostbite was the space heater on the floor beside him, a new acquisition since his last stint in Montana. A low hum rolled from the fan along the base of it, pushing warmth his direction. Above it 24 coils glowed red in the darkness, congruent waves hanging suspended in the air. It was there Koenig aimed his attention, focused his eyes, tried to place the voices, determine who they were, what they were arguing about. From the first sound, there was no doubt the two were at odds. Hearing them go back and forth, the fog of sleep lifted itself from Koenig. The last thing he remembered with any certainty was being 50 pages into Johnny Got His Gun, the aging paperback now face down on his lap. Above it, the reading lamp he used was still on, the neck of it twisted out above him.